Hey guys, it's Sabrina with Sabrina's Craft-nanigans. Welcome to the What Would You Make challenge with these beautiful ladies. Let's go check it out. Hey guys, it's Sabrina with Sabrina's Craft-nanigans. Welcome to intro tape 529. Trying to get this intro done. Hotter and messier by the day. I'm just saying. Whoop, whoop. Jump on a train. Here we go, guys. Welcome to the What Would You Make challenge, where we, of course, are required to make things out of actual real wood. Good, sturdy stuff. Our hosts are Miss Brenda with Rustic and Lace DIY, Miss Christine with Divine Designs, and the guest host this month is the beautiful OK at Home DIYs. Their channel links will be down in my description box, so make sure you go check these beautiful ladies out for putting this all together for us, and they make some absolutely amazing things. They're so talented and so creative. Also in my description box and in the first pinned comment, cat hair, sorry. In the first pinned comment and my description box will be the link to the playlist of all the beautiful, talented creators giving you some inspiration of what you can make with wood. I don't have anything Valentine's, nothing spring. I focused on a couple things I have been wanting to make for quite a while out of wood that I'm just putting in my final reveal area to help me reveal my final projects that I make. So nothing holiday seasonal, but something you could use for everyday decor if you wanted to. So nothing too outrageous and crazy today, believe it or not. So pretty short, kind of pretty simple. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you check out the links down below in the description box. If you're liking what you see, give us that thumbs up, subscribe to our channels, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends. If you like the crazy, share this crazy with your friends. This is a little crazy right here. Yeah, I love you guys. I will see you in the craft room. Bye, y'all. All right, guys, here comes DIY number 1. So I know you have seen a lot of people do this, but this is just one of those things I wanted for myself. These are some furniture legs that came from my friend Shelly. Thank you, Shelly. And then the beads also came from Shelly. Okay, I'm going to take all this hardware off of these legs, except for one of the screws, which I'll use the big wooden ball there since they had holes in them, and that fits perfectly on that screw. But on the other 2 legs, I'm taking all that hardware off, and I took all the hardware off the bottom. So the only thing left is like that little bolt screw in the top of one of them, which the big yellow ball will go on. Everything else completely cleaned up. Okay, time out. I'm remembering that I need to cut 2 of them, one a little shorter than the tallest one, and then one a little shorter than that, kind of like stair steps. So you see me kind of marking them right here, because this is going to be me and my 2 daughters. Yas. So I'm just going to take my miter box right here. I won't put you through this misery. And these actually, believe it or not, did not take long to cut. So there's my 2 little shorter ones. They're 24 and they're 18. So they're pretty much as tall as I am, but I wanted to make it look like they were my kids. So anyway, but I got the big head. They got the little heads. So I'm taking Toasted Marshmallow by Apple Barrel, and that's going to be our color of our heads. So I got all 3 of those painted. I put the 2 little ones on the tape to hold them in place, and I put my big one, went ahead and screwed my head on. That's kind of funny, ain't it? I'm going to color my body in plaster. One of the girls' bodies in that vintage blue by Home Decor, and then one of them succulent by Folk Art. I really like those colors, and they're into those colors too. I know those seem kind of like boyish colors, but we like all these colors, so that's why I did it. Plus, it matches my living room decor, so that's what we're going with. So you can see I painted mine white because we all know how to paint. One of them is in that vintage, which is just like Dusk and Waverly. And then that greenish one is that Succulent by Folk Art. So my head just screwed on. And then the girls' heads, I'm going to put a little Tite Bond and a little hot glue on the top. And make sure that those get lined up there pretty good. Yup, sorry. One head on. And then we put the other head on. What's funny is my youngest daughter is taller than my oldest daughter. So I don't know, should the tallest one be my oldest daughter, or should the actual tallest one be my youngest daughter, because she actually is the tallest? It's kind of funny. I thought about putting their initials on there, but I didn't do that. I just kind of left them. So anyway, now that I'm all done painting, I'm screwing my head on all the way. I'm going to take just more of a fine grit sandpaper. Don't ask me what number, but it's a finer grit sandpaper. And I'm just kind of distressing and roughing up the edges of the bodies there a little bit. And then I also hit the sides some. And I do that with all three of them. I don't show you all three, but I do all three, me and the two girls there. And I really get on the edges. I distress it pretty good. And then I make sure that the bottom is nice and smooth so everything sits nice and smooth. So, and then around the head, I made sure I got the corners really well as... I made sure I got the corners really good as well. And then the edges, the bottom corners, and then I did go on the sides just to distress it a little bit. Okay, are you done yet, Sabrina? You done? Mm-hmm. Okay, you can be finished at any time now. I guess I figured you needed to see this. So, yeah, I really like that distressing. But if that's not your thing and you want to leave them fully solid, leave them fully solid. Guys, I know a lot of people, you either like the distress or you don't. I love it. So I do it, whether it's with paint or with sanding them down. So look how good that looks. I love it personally. If you don't, leave it like it is. And I only put one coat of the plaster, the vintage, and the folk, the succulent color for our bodies. I only put one coat of everything. That was it, because I wanted that wood to come through. So that little package of hearts came from Hobby Lobby recently at 40% off. And I'm taking the heart with the 3 hearts because it's got a bigger heart and 2 smaller ones. I thought, perfect. I'm just taking my Waverly Antique Wax and a dry paper towel. And I'm just coating the one side of that just to give it a little bit more of a darker color. Make it stand out some. Didn't get the back. I don't want the back because I got to glue it on. So there it is, ready to go. Now what I got to do is figure out, we're going to wrap them in twine to hold them together. But I'm sitting here trying to figure out, how do I want to place them? Do I want me in the middle, girls on the side? Do I want the girls in the front? The girls on the side. Do I want them angled? But no, that's not going to work because then the rope won't hold very good. So do I want them both on one side and make stair steps? And I was just like, anyway, I went ahead and I just put one on each side. Figured that was the best bet right there. So that way I'm connected with both of them. And this is how I measure, guys. Yeah, how much jute twine did you use? I don't know. I just wrapped it around till I thought it was long enough. And now I'm actually going to take it and I'm going to take one end and I'm going to, first I'm going to glue them together. I am just using hot glue. That way, if I want to end up pulling them apart, I can pull them apart. If you know for sure this is how you want it and you want it to stay together forever, use your wood glue or your tight bond. But I just used hot glue, so if I wanted to pull them apart because I don't like one on each side and I want to do something different and rearrange them, it'd be easier to get apart than if I used the wood glue or the tight bond. So that's why I'm just using hot glue here. And then I'm going to hot glue the twine to the back. And then I'm just going to wrap that around a couple times. And I still have not learned how to wrap twine. If you watch my video from Friday in Lover's Lane with my shabby chic stuff that you will see here at the end of the video. So if you haven't seen my video from Friday and you like the shabby chic looking stuff you see here at the end, go check out my Friday's video. Yeah. Anywho, so once I got that wrapped, I glued it to the back again, and then I glued down some more of the twine just to make sure it didn't slide all over and, slide off, slide down, slide up, twist around. And then I made a big hot glue mess on the back, but we'll figure that out later. I'm running out of time. Anyway, I'm going to take another piece of jute twine right here because after I rearranged them like crisscrossy and then in the middle, I wanted to make sure they stayed tied together, not right in the middle on top of me, but kind of over to the side. I like things wonky. If you haven't figured that out yet, most of you that have been here with me for this wild Hot Mess Express train ride, I like things wonky. So it's over to the side, and then I'm just going to glue that heart right there on top of the knot. I'll leave the 2 jute strings hanging, but I'll cut them so that they're not hanging lower than our feet, I guess you could call it. So I get those cut off, and to make sure all the little glue strings are gone, since I made a hot mess on the back there. And there we go. I'm going to take a lighter to my jute to get rid of all the fuzzies. And I do go on the back, on the sides, And you can see I burned a piece there. Didn't catch nothing on fire though. We're all good. And then just making sure all that loose stuff is blown off of there with my little heat gun blow dryer thing there. Da-da! There we are. Me and my two girls, my Ashton and my Maddie. So if we were to go by actual size, the shorter one, the blue one, would be Ashton, and the greener one, which is my youngest one, would be Maddie. So there we go. There they are, my girls and I. I love it. Here's DIY number 2. So now you saw that those guys, or us ladies, were sitting on a little riser. I have not made a riser, and I have really been wanting to make one for my final reveal setup. So I had this big old chunk heart, which I figured was appropriate because it is close to Valentine's, but you could keep it out all year. So I do believe this chunk heart came from Shelly. Thank you, Shelly. I'm just sanding off the edges, and it was cut a little wonky. It wasn't like a perfect heart, so I kind of had to round those up at the top. We all know where those 3 cubes come from. They come from the Dollar Tree in a pack of 3. I'm going to use some Titebond and some hot glue and glue them on. I'm going to glue one on down there toward the point, and then the other 2 I will glue on toward the humps at the top of the heart. That's what we're going to call it. My humps, my humps, my humps, my humps. Oh, sorry. Anywho, so give a little bit of Titebond. I'm almost out of wood glue. That's why I'm using the Titebond and not my wood glue. Anywho, we're going to get those little babies glued on there. It's holding really good though, so I can't complain about that Titebond quick and thick multi-surface glue. That's some good stuff. Thank you, Brenda, from Rustic and Lace. You're the best. Okay, so we're all hot glued together, ready to go. Going to take my plaster, and I'm going to only paint the bottom and the sides. I'm not going to paint the top, even though it kind of looks like I did. I'm going to take this vintage bluish color, grayish color, which is the same as Dusk and Waverly, which I did have. I just wanted to use this. I'm going to coat the top with that vintage blue. Poof, presto, there we go. Look how fast I am. Making sure that's nice and smooth. What we're going to do, you see my school glue that I showed you over there. Notice I still haven't painted the sides. That's staying white. I'm going to make sure that's dry real good. I'm going to take my Elmer school glue, and we're going to try to crackle. This is only like the second time I have tried to crackle, and the very first time I did it, it came out awesome. Maybe the third time I've done this. The first time I did it, it came out awesome, amazing. I made a little watermelon sign in the summer when I first started my channel. So if you want to go check that out, you can. I think it was like my 4th video I made, maybe 4th or 5th. But it was a cute little watermelon sign, and I did white, and then I crackled. No, I did yellow, and then I put white on top. And so when it crackled, you saw the yellow. Best I ever did. I've done it 2 more times, and it hasn't come out right since. I've got issues. I keep watching videos, and I'm trying to be good. When that glue gets tacky, you don't want to wait till it's completely dry. You make sure it stays tacky before it dries. You put your top coat on, and I'm using plaster again, and you just only want to go over it like once, maybe twice. And you could see I'm such a perfectionist. I got to get those little spots, and then I finally tell myself, stop, just stop before you really mess it up. Anyway, and now we're going to dry it. I'm going to speed it up here. You can see the cracks starting to form. The left side of my heart got some really good cracks. I was happy with the left side. Okay, look at that left side. Look at her go. My right side, yeah, see, I'm all happy with my left side. My right side, it just would not go. I'm still trying to figure this out. I know it all has to do with, how much glue, how much paints, as to if you want skinny lines, thick lines, more lines, less lines. Okay, now I've just decided to go crazy. So since that didn't go the way I really wanted, I'm just taking a heavy grit sander here. This is like the green one. Don't ask me numbers. Don't know. And I noticed that it was kind of bubbly where the plaster paint was. So I just thought kind of like chipping some of the chunks off. So it looks like it's got 2 eyeballs and a nose. And then a wrinkly mouth at the bottom. That's just the way my brain works. So I'm going around sanding the edge. I'm just dressing it on the edge so you can see the brown on the edge there. And then I also got chunks of that plaster off. I'm actually digging this. I really like this. This actually turns out really cool. if I can get the 2 eyeballs and nose out of my head and the squiggly mouth at the bottom. Now, I could Mod Podge this, but I decided to wait in case I change my mind and don't like this. I can sand it all down, and I can do it again and try again or use a different color. But anyway, my little people will sit on that. Here is DIY number 3. This is another thing I have been dying to make for my final reveal setup. I'm going to make like a big window. Those were originally canvas frames, and I could tell because there was a bunch of staple holes in the back. This is more good stuff from my friend Shelly. Thank you, Heifer Shelly. So anyway, so I got 4 of those, and I took the measurements, and I'm wiping them all down because they were in the closet outside. We had some cobwebs, all sorts of good stuff. I'm also make sure that I am sanding them down with my little zip sander there. And this is the back side, and this is where you could tell. See, that's what I'm pointing out. There's a whole bunch of holes. So this was originally had canvas on the outside, and apparently Shirley must have took it all off. Now, on the back, there were one staple on the front in the corners. They were pretty sturdy. But I decided just to be on the safe side, I took my stapler there and I put 2 staples in the back, connecting those corners just to make sure. And then my strength, or I don't know how to work an electric stapler or something. So I just hammered them in to make sure we're good. So everybody is sanded, sturdy, ready to go. Gonna take my plaster there, and we are just gonna paint the tops, the sides, the insides. I'm not worrying about the back though. But the outside edges, the inside edges, and the tops, I am going to paint with my plaster. And so I'm going to kind of just get you started here because I know we know how to paint. Got a nice little chippy brush there from Walmart. This is like an amazing brush. I'm almost out of my plaster paint there. That's why I got it turned upside down. I'm going to get every bit out of there that I can. Going to speed it up for you because I'm just showing you that I'm painting the outside edges. I'm getting the inside edges really good. And of course the tops. But I'm not worried about the back. I can come back later. I could do the back if I want. It's like propped up against the wall right now. It might eventually get hung on the wall. I'm still working on my reveal space. But this is just something I have been wanting to make for a really long time. And I just gave these guys 1 coat. That's it. They only got the 1 coat. Guys, those clamps, they've got some new tool stuff in the tool section at Dollar Tree. 2 clamps for $3, y'all. 2 of the vice clamps for $3. I bought 2 packs. Oh, I was so excited. They may not be the best, but you know what? They're going to work for me. Okay, so we're going to use our wood glue from Dollar Tree and some hot glue. And I'm going to glue 2 frames together. And then once I get those together, I'll, of course, stick them together really good. And I kind of rotated them around to make sure they were somewhat even. And these evened out pretty good. These are really good canvases, wherever these came from. They weren't Dollar Tree canvases, that's for sure. Well, they too big to be Dollar Tree canvases. But now to figure out these clamps took obviously more than a college degree and a master's degree because I'm still trying to figure them out. But they did work very, very well. They served their purpose, I'll tell you that. So, and then they squeeze and you tighten it up just like you would your good clamps you'd buy somewhere. But hey, 2 little ones for $3, I'll take it. Yeah, they got all sorts of stuff. They actually got a little drill and everything now. I also bought me some big old clamps. I got the ones with the pink handles, but these were even bigger, so I've been wanting some of these for a while. So I just clamped those on the ends, and then I put the 2 little vice clamps on the insides. So we got those 2 all glued together. I'm going to just wipe off any glue that oozed out, but most of it oozed out the back because I slid it down so that it would go toward the back and not the front. Get those puppies stuck on there, and I just decided to pop in and say hello. I'm working on the second 2 frames now. Now that we've got both sets done, I connected 2 and then the other 2 because I had 4. I flipped them over and I took my tight bond and I just put it in that crack on the back where they met. And then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to run it down and smear it and get that glue in those cracks. because I want to make sure that this holds together. And guys, this thing is pretty sturdy. I mean, I'm sure it would still snap apart and break if it fell, or if you really like smack this up against the wall or something. So there's the two pieces, the top and bottom. 2 and 2 have been glued together. Now I'm going to glue the top 2 to the bottom 2. So I'm going to use the hot glue and wood glue again. And there we go. We're all set up. And then I took my tight bond again, ran it all the way down. We're all clamped together. We're good, ready to go. I'm letting this baby sit overnight, and I don't get to it until the next night. So here we are the next night. It's all together. It just showing you, I was shaking it. It's pretty sturdy. Now, I got these little thin slats from Temu. Came in a big old package. You can see they fit good. One will fit good from side to side, but they're not long enough to go from top to bottom. So I got to piece it. So you see 2 of them already done over there, but I did better showing you on this one. So I'm showing you how skinny they are. And I'm showing you one goes across, but up and down, nope, doesn't work. So I already took my measurements. And what I've done is I make sure that it's measured. Don't ask me the size. I can't remember at this point. I think I showed you guys earlier. But anyway, I'm marking my center point here for my one that'll go all the way across. I go ahead and mark my center points for my ones that are going from, it looks like side to side, but it's top to bottom. It's the longer side where I've got to take 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue my one piece that goes through the middle there that fits all the way across. And I'm using just hot glue. Guys, don't use just hot glue. I was running out of time. I just finished this last night, like really late. So I just used hot glue and used a ton of hot glue. Guys, use wood glue. Use the tight bond. Don't just use hot glue. Okay, if you really want this thing to stick, use some good stuff, okay? Now, I was using the Craft Bond wood glue, which is a heavier wood glue, or the Gorilla wood glue. That hot glue, I mean, not wood glue. That might work, but I'm just using hot glue here because I was running out of time. So anyway, so you can see how I use my miter shears to cut a chunk of that off. And the chunk I cut off of one, I use that to just keep measuring to cut off the chunks of all the rest of them. And then they meet on that middle slat, and I just put some hot glue in the middle and hold that all together. Are these perfectly straight? No, of course not, but it works. And then I just put more glue on the outside where they hit the frame, and then through the middle right here. I loaded this thing up with hot glue. But like I said, your best bet would be to use Tite Bond like I'm showing you, or some actual wood glue, and then let it sit. So there we go. Got all 4 of them done. Had to get rid of a lot of glue webs. That was fun. Now I'm going to take my antique wax and a dry paper towel. And I'm just going to go over the little, I guess they're the little bamboo sticks or whatever. I got them off Temu. Very big package, very good price. They're very good. I like them. They're sturdy. They're pretty thick. So I'm just going to take my antique wax and I'm just going to show you on this one. I'm just going to give them a good rub down with a dry paper towel to get the inside of my frame. So this is supposed to be like a big looking window. I've thrown around in my mind, do I want a big window? Do I want to make a cathedral looking window like I seen Kathy Jo make out of foam board, and some other ladies have done it out of foam board? But I just said, no, I had those in my stash. I said, let's roll with it. I had 4 exactly. I am back to that vintage bluish grayish color, and that's what I'm using to distress this. You're thinking, why are you using a grayish blue to distress? Because I like it. And it matches the little riser I made. And I do have the brown in it, but those are kind of the colors of my living room. I like have the bluish, teal, darker grays, and then grays and browns and the cream colors. So that's why I'm using that. Plus, I like it. I just think it looks pretty. If I decide I want to change it later, I'll sand it all down and paint it. That's why I'm not really Mod Podging anything. I want to make sure this is what I want. I'm just using a distressing brush from Dollar Tree there, by the way. I'm offloading on the paper towel. But there's the frame. You can see the stars up in the corner. Those are metal stars that my friend Shelly gave me. I just put one up in each of the top corners. I didn't put them down in the bottom. I add a little screw hook there that I just screwed in the middle so I can hang whatever I want to hang in the middle of it. That's the purpose of it, is to hang my wreaths I make. There's my little riser with me and my girls. If you like that shabby chic stuff you're seeing, go check out my video from Friday. And there's just one more quick picture of me and my girls and the little riser. And then there's my window. The stars match other stars that I have throughout my house in the living room. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've liked what you've seen, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I love each one of you so very much.